A record-setting weekend for air travel during the pandemic. Saturday marked the 24th consecutive day that more than 1 million passengers were screened at U.S. airports, according to data from the TSA.
People are just probably just tired of being at home. You get tired after a certain point.
Some flyers attributing COVID-19 fatigue and an increase in vaccine doses administered to the soaring travel numbers.
Maybe the vaccine, people are starting to feel a little like they can go back out again.
Top U.S. health officials say vaccination is the solution to COVID-19 fatigue.
This is not going to last forever because every day that you get 4 million, 3 million people vaccinated, you get closer and closer to control.
As vaccinations and the virus compete, some states lift restrictions as variants continue to spread. Some health experts fear another surge in the U.S.
At this time, we really are in a Category 5 hurricane status with regard to the rest of the world. At this point, we will see in the next 2 weeks the highest number of cases reported globally since the beginning of the pandemic. In terms of the United States, we're just at the beginning of this surge. We haven't even really begun to see it.
This is Our Lives. I'm Gwen Edwards. The movie Judas and the Black Messiah has renewed interest in the Black Panther Party.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color.
Neutralize him by any means necessary.
In fact, there's one person who is a member of the Black Panther Party in Bridgeport. We're going to talk to him now. Craig Kelly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How old were you when you joined the Black Panther Party and why?
I was 19 years old. The Black Panther started in 1969 in Bridgeport. And the reason I joined because I saw a lot of things. I saw a huge disparity in terms of how the police treat us as opposed to treating other people.
Tell us about the different chapters.
Like I said, originally, the Black Panther Party started in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The original headquarters for the Black Panther Party in Connecticut was in Bridgeport initially. Then it began to branch out. It went from Bridgeport to New Haven, and then from New Haven to Hartford. We obviously operated on the concept of the 10-point program, which is basically the foundation of the party to some extent. And we also established free breakfast programs. We had through the help of Michael Koskoff, as you well know, who was our attorney at the time, we conducted health clinics, some health clinics and some legal clinics utilizing his expertise in the law.
And many people don't know that your free breakfast program, free lunch program was prior to the federal government's programs.
Absolutely, absolutely. Members of the Black Panther Party in California, where it originated under Huey Newton and Bobby Seals, a lot of them were college students and some of them were college professors at the time. And they looked at the Black community and said, there's a lot of things that we need. And so one of the things that they found out, they did a study, they found that the kids that go to school and that don't have an adequate breakfast perform their scores are lower as a result of that. They also turned around and established pushed the first sickle cell program.
Well, Craig, thank you so much. We'll continue this conversation.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for watching Our Lives, and we'll have a second interview with Craig Kelly and the Black Panther Party on Sunday.
Reports are the latest, though, in a series of controversies surrounding the virus. Could they be required here in New Jersey? Many politicians are careful right now, not ready to commit. Of course, it comes as airlines are on a hot streak. Might not look it. At least 1 million passengers a day, every day for almost a month now, a pandemic first. Some increasingly confident as vaccines become more widely available.
I'm not nervous, I'm not anxious.
She's taking flight from Ocean County to Nigeria fully vaccinated. She had to fly back in December too, before her shots.
I wasn't vaccinated and I was very anxious, but this time I feel more relaxed and comfortable.
She supports a vaccine passport to travel. It's the latest point of contention in a COVID world.
I think it could improve things. I just feel like people are dead set one way.
Darren Lacey is a travel agent with Rope Drop Travel. She's already seeing the division as cruise ships announce vaccines will be mandatory.
I have clients that are like, we're going to go regardless. And then I do have clients that are like, well, if that's the case, then I'll just have to cancel.
But this could affect sporting events, concerts. Your job might require it. New York is already testing an app, proof you've been vaccinated or recently tested negative. It's for places like Barclays Center and Madison Square Garden. No such app is needed right now for Prudential Center, which had no comment tonight on the possibility. The vaccine passport is raising questions about privacy. Governor Murphy says he's not sure yet.
I'm open-minded. I think it probably needs to come from the feds, honestly, but I'm open-minded.
Well, the White House admitting this week it will play a role in vaccine passports, but tried to put the onus on the private sector at the same time.
We're officially open.
A new shipping center is now open in Bed-Stuy. Just-in-time shipping named after Justin Hackley, a Brooklyn man who lost his life to gun violence.
We really wanted to keep his name alive, so we decided to start a shipping center in Bed-Stuy to also, help the community.
20-year-old Hackley was gunned down in 2017 after getting into an argument with brothers Rashid and Dean Boland, according to police. Rashid has since been arrested, but police are still searching for Dean. And now, boxes shipped at the center aim to raise awareness of the alleged killer.
To place his killer's picture on a box and ship that box out, there's hundreds of people who see that box, who hopefully no one sees his face, and they just want him to be brought to justice.
Hackley's best friends, who started just-in-time shipping, hopes it will fill a void in the neighborhood, which they say has very few shipping centers, while also providing jobs for the community. Hackley's mother, Marie Bernard, says the center is just another way loved ones are keeping Justin's name alive.
He was a scholar. He was a pillar to our community. His name alone is just the name that wants everyone to be great, wants greatness. So that alone keeps me going.
Founders of the center say each box shipped out will have a meaning, as they hope to give customers a platform to raise awareness of loved ones on their packages. And as the 4-year anniversary of Hackley's death approaches and the investigation remains ongoing, his mother Marie says she won't stop her fight to find her son's killer until justice is served. In Bed-Stuy, Johnny Caldwell, News 12.
This is Our Lives. I'm Gwen Edwards. Well, the pandemic disrupted one Stanford first grader's life so much, she decided to open a business with her mom, and we're going to meet the two of them today. Candace O'Kelly and Taylor.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about the business. What is the name?
The name of the business is called Pink Chocolate.
Well, what we did is we actually partnered with a USA manufacturer. We found one that was able to, make the product in the USA with ingredients all derived from places in the USA, because that was very important to us, but also that it's a non-toxic formula and it's infused with argan oil to kind of nourish the nails. So we found the right manufacturer and we work with them with our colors. And that's how Pink Chocolate came about.
So tell us the reaction to Pink Chocolate.
What color do you have on, Taylor?
Pink chocolate.
The reaction has been wonderful to Pink Chocolate, both locally and throughout the United States. We've been very, very fortunate to have a lot of mom networks that have, picked us up and, really just supported. And, the local community has been very, very supportive as well. So we're very excited. We go into some of our favorite places like Lorca, where we get our coffee, and the owner is like, "Look, I have Lorca And Taylor just went crazy because it's just a place that we always go, and it's so great to get the community support.
Candace, tell me, where can I get some nail polish?
Well, you can get some nail polish at pinkchocolate.com.
Yeah.
And that's our website, and it showcases all of the colors. And we have these great things called boxes of chocolate, where there are 5 colors that are grouped together. And Taylor, what are some of the names of the boxes of chocolate? What's our top seller?
Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose is our top seller.
And we have the Delicate. Melanated Manny.
Melanated Manny, that's right.
And Skittle.
And Skittle, which Taylor was the hand model for.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, thank you very much for your time. So creative. So creative, Taylor. And Mom, just to keep her off of the television, you went through a lot, but it paid off. Thank you both.
Now that recreational marijuana is legal in New York, stores like eSmoke and Convenience in Lake Ronkonkoma are wondering if and when they'll be able to sell it.
A lot of customers is asking that are you gonna be able to sell it or not? So we don't have answer yet.
The state has given municipalities the option to opt out of retail establishments selling pot in their communities. Babylon Town Supervisor Rich Safer already taking a strong stance against the sale of marijuana. He's urging all Long Island towns to opt out of selling it and is meeting with other local supervisors next week.
Like say if Babylon just opted out, it wouldn't make sense because you could go to West Islip or to Massapequa if those towns allowed it. So I want to push this from a regional standpoint so that we could create this geographic Long Island opt-out as opposed to just doing it willy-nilly one by one.
Towns can't ban marijuana use, but they can prohibit sales. Marijuana user Lisa Lacorte says not selling it in stores is a mistake.
I think that it's ignorant. I think that it's short-sighted, especially because of the revenues that it will generate.
Opting out would mean a loss of tax revenue, but Schaefer says the negative impacts of having pot readily available far outweigh the positive.
I say that my prediction will be that it will cost us a whole lot more to deal with the addiction issues that will be created as a result.
Some Long Islanders weighing in on the issue.
I think if they're going to sell it, it should be a specialized venue. I'm a little scared. For the youth, of course.
It's just like cigarettes and alcohol. We have to be responsible for everybody.
I'm Jackie Lucas, News 12 Long Island.
And a change at the FEMA vaccination site in Newark. The site has changed from a walk-in to appointment-only format. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating is on the campus of NJIT.
No lines and no issues at this vaccination site here along Lock Street in Newark. We have been told they have 6,000 appointments set up for today. And when you consider the fact that they reached 2,000 people served by noon today, well, reaching that goal should not be a problem.
There was a constant yet steady flow of people walking into the Naimoli Recreation Center on the campus of NJIT. It's a change from the weekend when this site transitioned to walk-in service due to an abundance of doses. But once the line over the weekend became overwhelming, the decision was made to switch to appointment only.
This is one of the most organized, efficient operations I've ever seen.
Mauro Minervini works at a Home Depot. Getting his COVID-19 vaccination will ease some of his worry.
It's been very stressful because every morning when I get up, I have that little bit of anxiety. I mean, you know, you're going to work and you're risking your life.
And once I was inside, the process was great.
Carlos Cruz was one of the 6,000 people with an appointment set for today. Both he and his wife got their shots.
It gives you peace of mind. Like, in other words, I went for the shot, I got it, I feel okay now.
The goal is to vaccinate those living in Newark and the surrounding region. However, as more doses are being made available, we were finding people from other areas of the state getting appointments here.
Very organized. It was an amazing experience.
This man and his brother drove up from Deal in Monmouth County.
We were the last two to get vaccinated, so now we're all vaccinated. Gonna wait a few weeks to get our second shot.
This site is expected to serve 42,000 people a week for the next 8 weeks. In Newark, I'm Chris Keating, News 12 New Jersey.
And that FEMA site there at NJIT is open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. Organizers are telling people that it is not necessary to show up more than 15 minutes before your scheduled appointment.
More New Jerseyans are eligible to get in line for that vaccine. News 12 New Jersey's Tony Caputo is outside the mega vaccine site at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center in Edison. And Tony, the morning began with long lines but fast moving lines. So how is it looking right now?
We've seen a lot of people come and go getting vaccinated today. No doubt about that here in Edison. Couldn't come at a better time, right? Positivity rates are up. So is the demand for the vaccine. Is today your first day for eligibility?
Yes, it is.
So once that eligibility was announced, you started looking for an appointment?
Yes, I did.
How was the appointment process for you?
That was very easy. I made it online.
Long but rapidly moving lines this morning at Edison's mega vaccine site at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center. Starting today, anyone over the age of 55 is eligible, as are those 16 and older with intellectual and developmental disabilities, those who work in higher education, communications, real estate, financing, sanitation, laundry service, utility workers, and librarians. How difficult or easy was making the appointment?
The appointment is easy. I thought I was going to be the only one in, but I'm looking at the line like there's 50,000 people waiting to get in.
Well, not quite that many, but the turnout is impressive. Kathy Tully is a retired nurse. She understands not everyone is rushing to get in line, even with expanded eligibility. Being a nurse,
right,
you know as well as I do, there are people who are not going to get this shot.
They are not.
When you see this line and the crowds that we're seeing, how does that make you feel?
I'm glad that they're here. I'm glad that they're here. The ones that don't want it, it's their choice.
Now, demand for the vaccine has been so high that the facility at NJIT, another FEMA facility in Newark, well, they stopped taking walk-ins. Again, you need to set an appointment to get a vaccination there. Again, it's just so high, and we've seen the crowds today coming and going. They're getting in quickly, getting out quickly. In about a month or so, a little less than a month, everybody will qualify for the vaccine. Governor Murphy says New Jersey will be ready. That's the latest from Edison, Middlesex County. Tony Caputo, News 12, New Jersey.
During the pandemic, Aisha Goodridge wrote her first children's book, Abby and the Magic Mask, inspired by her 4-year-old daughter, Abby.
I wanted to explain to my daughter about the coronavirus in a fun and engaging way. I wanted the character to look like her. I wanted her to have someone that she can identify with.
And help children understand the importance of wearing a mask.
No matter how comfortable children are, they get restless. So I had to kind of make it, well, it's magical. So if you keep it on, you're a superhero, and then we can go anywhere and do anything. And it worked.
There's also a dance called the Abby Glide, a theme song, and a cartoon that shows readers how to glide.
I wanted to make it an experience, not just a read, because I think you read something and you have a tendency to forget. And I wanted children all over the world to just be able to chime in on this experience.
Goodridge was also inspired to write this book after she lost her cousin to the coronavirus last year.
She was a writer and she loved children and she loved to express herself creatively. So this is homage to her, essential workers, to our teachers.
She envisions this book will make a difference around the world.
I'm hoping that the book becomes a universal teaching tool, not just for COVID, any infectious disease, that it makes us not forget how far we've come.
And she has 2 others and also a novel in the works. Emily Lorsch, News 12.
Boy comic book creator H.H. German loved reading comics, and he had hoped to write one someday. It was during quarantine, German put his ideas to paper and created a new comic book, Here Comes Calico.
There he is, the one and only.
He says his character is like no other hero in the comic world. The Bronx-born Brooklyn vigilante fights for the protection of all animals by punishing those who torture and abuse them.
In this world, he is judge and jury.
German says his character identifies with the defenseless because he was a victim of childhood bullying. Calico doesn't have superpowers, but instead relies on a high-tech bodysuit and a network of intel hackers.
I think the character is definitely going to resonate in New York because he's straight from the Bronx. Yeah, he lives in Brooklyn. And he's taking care of the problem in a New York kind of way.
An amateur boxer, German says his other life goal is to eventually win a championship fight. He's confident New Yorkers will identify with his comic champ's mission in the fight for animal rights.
I think any kind of attention that we could devote is a great thing. And in this case, we're using an old American institution, comic books, to do so.
The Bronxite has completed 2 comics out of his 8-book series. His latest publication expected to be released sometime early next month. Carmen Grant, News 12.